to me it's such a miracle that I'm in the water, period, because my fear of water was exponential and ridiculous and totally irrational. I don't know where it came from because there wasn't a specific trauma or anything, but I just remember having this like panic, this thought that whenever I was in the water, something could come up and get me. Going in a swimming pool by myself was like out of the question. Going into the lake where I couldn't touch, out of the question. If I would, I had to like be holding onto someone like with both my hands, and Mark was helping me with that. It was like, man, the worst thing ever I could have imagined. Like my biggest fear had happened. What's everyone's biggest fear? Really, like losing someone that you feel like you can't live without, and it happened. And he wasn't coming back. And so I was like, in a way, kind of like, fuck you, world. Like fuck you, everything. I don't care. Like I'm drowning anyways, might as well go do it for real. You know, go out with a bang. And I wasn't like going out there in like with the suicidal mentality, but I mean, if I would have let that fear of water stop me from ever like going into the ocean and finding out, like it wasn't like I just went in and it clicked and all of a sudden I wasn't scared. I was scared. Why not try? Why be scared that you're gonna fail before you even try? And if we're gonna do it, let's go big, you know?
Yeah, the El Incognito friend, live in my elements. I bring it to many men, dusty, raw, and elegant. I create the trends you follow, fly like it's the Apollo. Rappers come with tracks, rap flat like supermodels. Hit harder than Delgado, a tough pill to swallow. They try to keep me in bay, I bust through like bottles. I'm no Vatos Loco, don't want no parts of that beat. Don't want my body stitched up, son, like leather car seats. I never had an off week, I'm steady on the grind. An underground superhero, got 99.
Women's Ride of the Year. The winner is Jessica Moore.
Winner of this year's Women's Video Part of the Year is Jessica Moore.
Town with the big sound of big city slickers. I see the big picture like vector files on buildings. I rap deep like villains. Once I caught feelings. Why pretend never again? My heart is healing. I sell 1,000 units. I know they worth millions. I'm a product of hip hop, and so will be my children. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in my element. Tonight's main event. So play the track again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in my element. Tonight's main event. So play the track again. You see me, the MC. Jam, you better run a master on the MPC that carries some old school like Philly blunts, roll chains and gold fronts, mixed like fruit punch, spit fire like plenty guns, stay high like helium. Cause I've been at the lowest, I'm back just to approach it, more determined and focused. Take all the lessons, stick it in my shoulders. I wrote this song cause I stay on my hustle. Success lies in struggle, could never burst my bubble. I'm like stumble, hit roadblocks but never fall. I miss the couple bars, blame it on alcohol.
What the fuck? Ow.
How's your third ass? Oh yeah.
It's like pushing your mind to push your body to do something crazy that is expressive of all of this stuff that I have inside of me, and that's just my nature. I've tried to tone it down, but I just get so fired up. My ass is so broken right now. Should I go slower or something?
Yeah, maybe a touch.
I couldn't understand where this thing was coming from, and I still really don't, but it's coming from in here, and it can't be stopped.
would like to take this moment to recognize someone who has given all of herself to snowboarding. Someone who has overcome the worst odds, not just currently, but from the very beginning. And someone who has inspired me above all others. She is the 5-foot giant carrying the world on her shoulders. And I cannot imagine the sacrifice, struggle, or heartache that went into Jess Kamira's video part this year. I merely saw the outcome, and it was pure passion. Jess's part is a celebration of snowboarding, which is to heal and direct our lives on a greater course. A course that surrounds us in happiness, friendship, purpose, stoke, and ability to keep going, even when the last thing you want to do is to strap in again. Ow! Fuck!
And I was just like not ready for that.
No, it's a fucking tree. Trees don't move, man.
Guys can talk as much shit as they want, saying, "Oh, you, good for you, your little woman power thing." Like, no matter what, when you put guys and girls head to head, the girls aren't as good. But like, why? Why is that? Because we never had a chance. We never had a category. We never had anyone to look to. And I remember there was one girl that was in the big movies, and other than that, there was no way that someone was gonna let a girl in on their crew. And yeah, there just wasn't a category for us.
Can you move your arm? Jesus, Jess.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, that's nice!
I didn't say it out loud even to myself then, but I was like, fine, I'll make a category. I didn't realize how much of, or how far it was actually gonna go.
Okie dokie.
So grade 8 was when I started, and by 2000 it was everything. It was worth quitting school over. So
Giving her the whole shot out in front.
when I found snowboarding, it was like that kind of thinking that I had always had, that like rebel mentality that I was kind of like chastised for as a kid, was applauded and celebrated and rewarded. And it was all about like grit and determination and perseverance and all this stuff that I felt like I was made of. There's a school in Vernon called Open Door that was for kids who had dropped out of school or gotten pregnant or gone to jail or wanted to be a pro snowboarder. So I remember I had this English teacher, and he told me, you can shape the entire world to be exactly what you want it. You just have to find a way to like fill the requirements. So we had to do this big essay, and I was like, but I want to make a snowboard video. And he's like, then figure out how that clicks the boxes. And I just used 2 VCRs and like film the screen and play music in the background. It was sick. And when everyone else had to read their dumb essay to the class, I got to show my snowboard video. This is my mom and dad putting snow on my landing for me. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Oh yeah, the turning point. My parents got a handy cam, and I filmed my whole first video part on that, and I put that out on Facebook or snowboard.com, and I saw that it was turning a lot of heads, and it was like this level playing field of me and the guys, and I could see that I was keeping up with them. So I get an email from this guy one day saying, hey, we're looking for another rider for a video, and I saw this video of you, like, would you be interested? And I was in disbelief. These guys were my heroes, and I was gonna get a chance to go filming with them. I showed up with my headphones on and my eyes closed, just visualizing like what I was gonna do as soon as I got there, and I got there and I went off. They must have thought I was a psychopath. remember we went to the first spot and I did this back tail slide on this ledge. I remember all the guys were like, holy shit, because that trick at that time hadn't been done properly yet. But that back tail like went down in history. When the teaser came out, that was the opening shot, and it was like 90 seconds long in the most slow-mo that you can. And I remember there was arguments online, like I took screenshots of it, of people being like, that's not a girl, yes it is. Look at the pigtails, no it's not. It's Johnny Miller, no it's not, you're a fucking idiot. Like, and when the video part came out, it came on the screen and I was having like a heart attack. In snowboarding movies, it's like the opening part and the ending part, those are the two best parts in the movie. And I had the opening part in a guy's movie. There wasn't a Women's Rookie of the Year category, but I was up for Men's Rookie of the Year, Men's Standout Performance. So I'm going from being like absolutely nobody kook show and then winning the awards and having to go up and do a speech. Like it was... It's like when you get drunk at a high school party and act a fool. And then the next day you wake up and you're like, no. I mean, I don't know where I found the dildo. It was like a 3-foot long, double-ended, like probably thing weighed like 16 pounds. Because I saw all the people behind the gate of the VIP section like cheering, and I was like,
Number 2, dedicate both my awards tonight to all you motherfuckers behind the fence.
like, I was you guys last year. Ooh, take the dildo, spin it around, and toss it into the crowd, just thinking and someone's gonna catch it. No, it lands on the VIP table of the Forum team, which was like the Beatles of snowboarding. Boom! And it just knocks all their drinks into their cameras and everything and like onto their laps and shit. But I didn't see that. I was just like, yeah!
She jumped that hill down there. You see how that's a long way down. Do you have a man? I need somebody to protect me. I need somebody to protect me. Oh my God!
Yep. Look at that smile.
This is good.
Cause it all starts with a feeling from hearing a song and the singer saying something so real that it couldn't be wrong. And the sort of steals the corner of your soul for the moment in time, only to fill your heart with so much love that it opened your mind. So find the diamonds, rough and coal mines for old time's sake, with no time to waste in this world. When you know it's a go for mine, mind stayed ill until we could kill the hate with some love from up above. Plus
I saw him. It was New Year's Eve. I just walked in the door and was like, whoa. I remember everyone had always talked about him. Everyone called him Greasy Stick, because he was not that kind of greasy stick, but he was really handy. Sleds would blow up, they'd bring him over and he'd tear them apart and rebuild them. And at the time I was in my most like powerful stage of my life, independent, and I didn't need no man, but for some reason I just right away was drawn to him. And I felt like a girl all of a sudden, which I just never let myself be.
And it goes, damn, I wish that I could give you this feeling, but it ain't like falling in love, it's more like calling the spirits. Can you
I was like, hey, you wanna hang out? And he was like, no. He was like, I'm not like looking for a girlfriend. I'm like, I don't wanna be your girlfriend, I just wanna hang out, let's do something, like, come on. Finally, I convinced him to go on a sledding date with me, like on snowmobiles, and I was just learning, and that was his thing, that was his vehicle to express himself. So he was really, really sick and really knowledgeable and talented, and all of the crazy batshit stuff he had done in his life, like he was psycho. He would.
Yeah, Dixon.
We went to this special zone, and I was just getting stuck. Like, I would just bury my sled, and he'd help me out, and I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, I'm blowing this. Instead of me like going to turn my sled around and get stuck again, he's like, I'll turn it around. He hopped on it, and he ripped way down the trail to go turn it around, and I heard like the engine die, and I thought I heard some kind of screaming or something, but I wasn't. I come around the corner and he had gone to turn around up this pillow and the sled flipped onto him and the bars were on his throat. Oh my God, no! So I like run over and go to try to move the sled and it didn't even budge. Like I had used everything I had and it didn't move. And I was like, oh my God, I'm helpless. I'm gonna watch him die. What am I gonna do? And I went to move it again because I was like, this can't be happening. And it just lifted like nothing. Just enough for him to get his throat out. And we laughed. And I said, wait, no one's gonna believe this. You're okay, right? You can breathe? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna take a picture. So I took a picture. And after that, he was like, well, fuck, you saved my life. And it was full on from there. So that was a pretty cool first date. Yeah, I mean, in the big picture, it wasn't long, but it was so significant to my life. And I just felt like, whoa, everything's lining up. You know, I have this really successful career. And then I found this guy that we're just connected spiritually. And I even thought, you know, this might be my last year as a pro snowboarder. Maybe I'll want to like switch it up a bit and have a family. And then.
Hey, Jesse. I stopped here to try and take some pictures, but it was hard to really tell even what it is without describing it, so I thought I'd make this little video.
And he starts explaining this scene on the logging road, and his phone goes by this way, and you see his truck with the 2 dirt bikes in it, and he's like, yeah, we're just going for a rip.
Do you remember that Abby that came down in the spring? Thought I'd show you this because you'd respect the craziness of it. So right there, don't mind the Band-Aid, that's actually snow.
Excuse the Band-Aid, he's like got a Band-Aid on his finger.
These huge trees snapped like fucking twigs, like sheared off. They're not even like snapped, they're like sheared.
And I thought that was crazy. He had never done anything like that before. You know, he doesn't talk on camera at all. He's like Mr. No technology, no Instagram, no whatever.
Yeah, pretty crazy. It's the most fucking violent thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyway. Bye-bye.
He came up over a rise at the same time a truck coming up on the other side of the rise on the wrong side of the road. He was alive for a little bit, but not long. This happened in such a split second. Did I cause this because he wanted to film this thing? The truck would have missed him. But you can't think like that because I know that he was like, fuck. And I could feel him reaching out, being like, I'm sorry, no, like this, that's not what he wanted. Sheesh. I love you.
Oh gosh. I hadn't expected you to ask that question, and nothing prepares you for this. Nothing at all. And at the time of the loss, it's something that is, you think you'll never get past it.
I never gave myself a break to actually process what had happened. You know, just in the same way that I thought I have to be this beacon for girls to change like perceptions or whatever. Like when we lost Mark, I thought I have to be this beacon for him, his family, his friends, to be strong and to not let off the throttle at all. But inside, I just wanted to die.
Hey, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you remember a number and a color?
Okay.
The number 7.
Okay.
And the color blue.
7 blue.
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened?
You know what day of the week?
Sunday? Saturday.
Remember what happened?
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. We're gonna call an ambulance for you, okay?
Ah, you fuck! Fuck!
I've always said, like, you know, I can deal with any amount of pain. Broken ribs, broken bones, blown knees, and I would still be filming and not saying anything about the extent of the cost, because then I thought, you know, all those things that I wanted to change, I was like, I can't show any weakness. I just pushed through all of it, and when your nervous system is so used to like all of those pain things firing all the time, it like fries you. And sometimes I feel fried, you know?
You alright?
Yeah. After the surgeries, they give you a lot of painkillers, and I think it was like this emotional pain that I was trying to turn off. And that summer, I would just drive out to the middle of nowhere and lay on my tailgate and take like a handful of pills and drink a 6-pack of beer right away. And I just remember like laying there and having to remind myself to breathe. Probably came close to not waking up a couple times, and I mean, I've said that, like, yeah, you know, I took pills and tried to numb myself, but I don't know if I ever really told anyone how gnarly it got. And I mean, I've had a lot of head injuries, and I've had issues with depression, and I've been on medication for a long time. So like all of those factors would make it so that when I would be coming down off that stuff, I would sink into this hole that was so dark. And I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I cannot explain to you how in that moment you feel so lost that the only thing you can think of is just how it would just be so great to not be alive anymore. It's crazy, like it's in this moment right now that I'm realizing that. Like how hard that was. How lost I was. But it wasn't like his choice. As angry as I would get sometimes to be like, you fucking left me, why did you leave me here? Just had a CAT scan, and they just wanted to make sure that my brain isn't bleeding, and it's not. So that's good. I know this is taking its toll on me, and I've gotten hurt a million times, and people generally think I'm just a loose cannon, but I don't know if it's that I'm a loose cannon. I have like so much heart in this, and also rather people know the truth that this is what it takes. Like, I don't know, maybe not for some other people, but for me, this is what it takes to try and push the boundaries for girls and, I don't know, bring something to it other than just following what everyone else is doing.
I was just like, holy shit, that was fucked up. Is that chick dead? And then it like ended up being Jess, you know? And now I know why she isn't dead. Because it's Jess, she's an animal. And she doesn't die? No, ever. It's crazy.
I think that to look at things as black and white is dangerous. Thinking I'm either over it or not over it, or I'm happy now or I'm still depressed. When you think that way, every single time things go back down, you feel let down and disappointed. But if you can see things as like this constant wave, where like things come in, but you know they're gonna pass. If you think as soon as there's good times and you hold on to those by the throat, your world's gonna explode and you're gonna be disappointed again and thrown back into like this same cycle of this lesson that we're all here to learn. I know now that I can survive by myself. Like nothing else is guaranteed. Everyone around you can leave at any time, but you're stuck with you. And so you have to get okay with you.
Mark always told me about when he was a kid, his parents would pack up this homemade truck camper and grab him and his brother and drive all the way down to Mexico, to the Baja, where they'd spend their winters just kind of living wild on the beach. I think he really appreciated that part of his childhood, and it really shaped him into the person that he became. So I think it's something that he really wanted to share with me. Right before his accident, he actually cashed out his life insurance policy, and he bought a camper to put on his truck and a surfboard. And the plan was to head down there and revisit those memories that were so important to him and check out all the places that he spent his childhood in. So the first time I met his mom was actually at his funeral, because she lived in Mexico. And I just felt this connection to her right away. It was like I had known her forever. I could see Mark in her eyes instantly. It was really cool. She started trying to talk me right away into recreating the trip that Mark had planned and just going anyways. Which at first I was like, yeah, sure, Franny, sounds like a good idea. But in my head, I'm just thinking like, man, there's no way I'm driving 3,000 miles to Mexico by myself. Like, that's completely batshit crazy. But honestly, as soon as I hit the road, I just felt like everything was okay. And I was doing exactly what I was supposed to be doing.
Oh, Fernando! You know, doubt is something I've never, ever said in the same sentence as her name. If she wants to do it, she's going to do it, and she'll find a way. So, as she started out with her hand very, very closely attached to mine, but pretty soon she just floated off.
I signed up for a surf lesson and I asked the instructor if I could wear a life jacket. And he was like, no. And I was like, okay, but is my face gonna go underwater? Because I'm not one of those people that can do that. I was just thinking, okay, I'm gonna do it, but I'm just gonna not let my head go under the water. So if you're scared of snakes, like, you get someone to put a snake on you and you're like, yeah, you're gonna have a heart attack the first time. But then like 3 days later, you're gonna realize that I didn't die. So I just went out there and kept getting pummeled until I wasn't really scared anymore, or that I could tolerate that fear. But I'd spend hours in the water every day, hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And this guy says to me, you know, he's like, I admire your determination, but I wasn't sure if we should be coming out to rescue you or applauding you. The guys on the beach started calling me like the pit bull, because I wouldn't give up. I know there's so many surfers out there that are gonna be like, you need to learn respect, little girl. You know, I do have respect, I do, but I wanna try. Like, yeah, I'm probably gonna like take off and just get my shit tossed, but basically I wanna feel as much as I can feel while I'm here. Because that's how I'm honoring Mark, you know, in his life and the way that he lived, which was like balls out, hair straight back, flying in the wind.
The time when you're just having like the most incredible interaction with the wave, I'd like to think he's going to be there with us. And at the time when you really think you're on the edge and battling that fear, I'd like to think he's there with us. So I think for that reason, Nine Palms is probably a really good spot for some of the physical side of Mark to find a resting place. The spiritual side of him has been here always, and in the physical sense, it should be an ending of sorts and a beginning of something else.
So when I was with Mark, I felt like kind of a sellout around him because he was so like soul guy, you know, and I was taking these big paychecks and having these big stickers on my board, and I would tell him, you know, I felt deeply unfulfilled, and he knew that, and he said, like, you got to figure out how to give back a bit, and then you're gonna feel something. I wanted to be the person that I needed when I was younger, and so I decided to make my own snowboard video, which I don't know anything. I didn't know anything about it. I went and bought a camera. I called all the girls that I knew like had it, what it took, and hit the ground running. And I knew that the companies were just gonna be like, you know, they weren't gonna support us. So instead of just like having the energy of like rejection going into this, I was just like, I'm just gonna pay for it myself and make it look like we're fully funded, we're a professional operation. When really behind the scenes, it's like my buddy who edits and me and a computer and like a Cameras for Dummies book. But we pulled it off. Yeah, it was called The Uninvited because we're never invited. People can be like, oh yeah, Me Too movement and girls, women's lib, burn your bra, whatever, but like they don't get that we're always like laughed at.
Seeing like an all women's video come out, being a female, is super, super empowering. Like you can watch all these dudes snowboard because there's a lot of them, but rarely do you see like a full video of just girls. Like it is so inspiring for me and younger generations.
You know, when we did our premiere tour, we made our t-shirts, and every single girl that came out, they got it, and they were like, this is for us. You know, the important thing was that in the end, all the girls that saw the movie, they saw it and they were like, there's a place for us. And somebody cares. You know, like that's huge. And it sounds so cheesy, but it just, if you can't see it, you can't be it. And if you don't have something to look at, to say like, this is what I could be one day, then you have to use your imagination, and it's gonna be messy, like in the same way that it's been messy for me. I never felt like I had like a community or like part of something. I just felt like I was like on this road alone. And in doing that, I like realized I had a community and that I wasn't alone. I wouldn't call myself a surfer, considering all the like dick-faced surfers I've met that call themselves surfers. I don't want to be one of them. I don't care about what's cool. Like, I really don't. I do it for me, and I feel like that sense has gotten lost in snowboarding because I was doing it for everyone else. I was doing it for all the girls. I was doing it for my sponsors. I was doing it for all the haters. But this is for me, and I can feel him smiling on me. Like, he's laughing because he can't believe it, and I can't believe it sometimes. Man, if he could see me now. Yeah, I think in a way she really says, like, I live vicariously through you right now, and that's beautiful. Like, I feel Mark being like, thanks, Jess, like, just keep on ripping, and I'm like, bitch, I'll keep ripping, you know? Like, she worry about me. If I could change this experience so that I wouldn't have gone through this suffering and this sadness, I wouldn't change it. As like crazy as this sounds, it's been like the biggest gift. Truly mean that. I'm not just trying to sound like Oprah's book club. It's been a gift because it took me like all the way to the darkness and showed me where the light really is. And even when we think we have nothing, we still have so much. And it's easy for me to say this now because I'm having a good day. I have a lot of bad days where I can't see anything except for this black cloud in front of me. But deep down I know that above that cloud, the sun is shining. I just can't see it today. Maybe not next week. But I will see the blue sky again.
Real hip hop. Real hip hop.
What started with my MPC, grew to beta SPs. Now it's years later, 360 degrees. Not much change, but the cut of my jeans. I'm eating more greens. My mama always said you gotta eat. So I take the salad over fries, the truth over lies. Besides that, still the same guy, right? Got my feet wet, learn.
Gotta go protect the school again, but I had to come see you guys. Y'all did a great job, man.
NP indirectly gave me the strength to succeed. A live feed took it on tour. Niggas waiting patiently for the encore. Need not wait more. Showed my potential on my first LP. Knew it. Took a sample and drums made real music. Forced the fans to ask the question, who's this? Where he from? He be rapping what click? Yeah.